question.
What was the question?
Clean distributed energy.
Thank you, President Trump.
Define that.
Can you
Lots of
read-
different sources.
All the indivisible people.
Yeah, Indivisible 45. Yeah, we know who you are.
I attended a 3-day study on world energy, emerging markets,
puppies.
Geopolitical issues with energy, trying to figure out the answer to those kinds of questions. As policymakers, energy has many aspects to it.
You drove here in a car,
You guys
right?
know what fracking is? Fracking?
Yes, we love fracking.
I will tell you,
It's a good thing.
and it's controversial. When I was in Sacramento, I actually supported fracking.
Good for you. We agree on something.
With the proviso that we watch it
Sure.
to make sure that nothing unintentional comes out of it.
There you go.
In terms of, hurting our aquifers and our water system. The reason why I think fracking is significant is, as well as natural gas, is for the first time, I believe, ever, or maybe in 100 years, the United States has become a net exporter of energy.
Amen.
It is my meeting. Thanks.
Now,
Thanks to Trump.
you say why? Again, I made a statement earlier that I am very much for America, and I'm very much
Like our
in
president.
making sure that strategically we are protected. Again, growing up in the 70s,
America first.
how many of you here remember waiting in line to fill up your gas?
I wasn't born
Johnny
yet.
Carter.
Not even.
That was an oil embargo pushed upon us.
That's what it was.
And I don't want to see that energy weapon unleashed upon us again.
Right.
I'm hoping that we continue to move forward and we can actually supply some of our allies and friends with energy as well.
Thank you,
Did you
Trump.
support the Keystone Pipeline?
With that being said, we have to move forward very quickly towards clean energy,
We already have.
as fast as we can. And what I learned from that 3-day conference is you can't be prescriptive about telling people how to get to zero emissions.
There you
have to
go.
let the specialists get there.
No.
And make sure we get there in expedited fashion. Some of the challenges, I believe the biggest challenge that we have is technology. Whoever comes up with a breakthrough battery that they can store energy is going to revolutionize the renewable energy. Some of the other research and development that's going on right now around this area is significant. And I'll tell you, this is one of the areas that I believe that President Trump was making a mistake. He was cutting all research in this area. And I think that's a mistake. We have to go the other way, which is invest in R&D. And again, it's not only about us, it's about our competitors internationally that are investing heavily in research and development, and we cannot afford
Private sector.
to fall behind. Private sector is just one part. Private sector
It's a
will
big
not-
part.
will not invest
It's the key.
in
Come on.
risky investments. Okay? It's only the government that.
Why are we paying so much in gas? I agree.
5G.
We're paying, what, $4 a gallon now?
What's up with our gas prices?
Next question asks, what
Thank
can we
you,
do
Democrats.
about dark gambling cafes? There's one in a shopping center behind my house.
They just
Very
took it
disturbing.
down. Was that on
Lots-
17th?
I hope so.
Is that the one you're talking about?
There is one on 17 and Nancy Lane.
Holy crap.
Well, I would say that's where you drop the dime and these couple of police officers here will go in and shut them down.
Oh, you know what? It's still open. What they're doing right now, they close during the day, but they're open at night.
Yep.
Can we put the Denver boot on those things? You guys know what the Denver boot is?
How about the Trump boot?
The Denver, and this is ingenuity. City of Santa Ana came up with this, or city attorney.
Tell us about that
You
Denver
know how in
boot.
Denver, if you get too many tickets, they put that boot on, you can't drive a car? Yeah. Well, what they do here and it started here in Santa Ana was, if there was an unauthorized pot shop, same thing happened. You would close it, the next day you'd open, you'd turn off the electricity, they'd get a portable generator, and they would keep doing it.
Yeah.
Until they came up with a Denver boot, which is, the police will go and put metal around the door, the window, so you physically can't get in. And it works. I mean, very simple solution. So that's what we probably need to do.
Let's put it on the border.
Put it in Denver.
Not like a wall,
Next
right?
question.
Also, you're building
Oh,
walls.
that's a
Good
great idea. I love it.
Build it.
What about our high gas prices?
Next question asks, how are you planning to spend the revenue from the increased sales tax from Measure X?
Good God.
Okay, it's the Santa Ana issue, I guess. Well, let's talk about
Any city
it.
council members here from the city of Santa Ana? All I'm doing is I'm paying for it.
Shop in the neighboring community.
Yep. Everybody
Next
shopping
question.
out of city.
Jeez.
That's one of ours.
Okay.
One of our questions. Don't forget, there's Republicans here too.
Next question, how are you going to help with rent control?
Oh, God.
Affordable housing.
You voted for Costa Hawkins,
Yeah,
didn't
answer
you?
that one, comrade.
Where's Mr. Anaman?
City issue now. Affordable housing.
That's a very
$50
good question, which is rent control. I have fundamentally opposed rent control throughout my life.
Yay!
With that being
That
said,
being said,
when you have
Because I got to win Democratic voters.
that mobile home park, the city of Anaheim raising rents 45 to
part of the
50%,
new Green Deal.
It's
Affordable
unconscionable.
housing.
there's just no excuse.
Keep-
When you have people,
Could bring
okay,
people in the country.
looking for a place to live, and you put up a for rent sign and there's
Applying
20
demand.
people applying. We have challenges in our society today. And I think we need to sit down and address this issue, and I've been holding back. I wrote a letter to that mobile home park, and I said, what you're doing is unconscionable. And City of Anaheim and the mobile home park and the residents are working something out. There's other deals like that being addressed in the area where high rents and higher rents are coming in.
Damn.
Ultimately, I think these are the parameters I'm looking at. And we'd love to get your written opinions later on, but we do not want to disincentivize further building of homes, okay? Because, we need more construction. Smart construction with parking, making sure that, we address the issues of congestion. And at
There
the
we
same
go.
time, okay,
Affordable
we want to
housing.
make sure that the rent is not one that's unduly burdensome on the residents of the area. It's a very fine line to maneuver.
It's already there.
But if you've heard Governor Newsom, he is looking to sign a rent control bill this year.
Boo.
And I think
Boo.
he's heard a message. And
No, he
it's
hasn't.
not about
That's
doing,
not- that's
folks.
not true.
This is an important public policy that all of
Prop
us
10
have to
died
address.
big time.
Because
He's not hearing a message, he's ignoring it.
folks are hurting.
We are.
And at the same time, like I said, I want to make sure we continue to grow in the area.
Okay.
In terms of smart
Oh,
housing.
here we go.
Will you deal with the
Right,
sober
right.
living homes? What about those?
So my health care can go up, but if rent goes up, we gotta figure it out.
Okay, next question.
It's not stating.
It says, I run a Veterans Resource Center at a local university. Can we look at housing for veterans attending schools, maybe discounts, and rally resources around helping them get ready for post-degree, interview skills, etc.?
Nope, it's going all to the legals. Sorry, no more money.
I think that
Shout out
that's
to
very
veterans.
important to do what we can to take care of our veterans. And if we need to go in that direction in terms of build more housing for veterans, I think that should be a priority in our society. I will look forward to working with those interested veterans to address the issue of housing for veterans. Quick commercial for you. Last year, we did a lot of work for veterans. We created the Choice Act.
Yes.
Okay, and the Choice Act essentially says that you as a veteran have the option of getting your health care where you choose to get your health care. If you want to do it outside the VA, you
Yes.
can do that.
Good.
Now, the counter argument has been made, this is the privatization of the VA. I wouldn't put it that way because today, if you go out and you talk to veterans, 40% of veterans get their health care outside the VA. And what we want to do is make sure that veterans have access, speedy, readily accessible access to health care when they need it.
And stop giving it to
And the
illegals.
reason we passed that legislation was sadly, a few years back in the state of Arizona, a veteran waited for almost like 300 days to get his health care. And that veteran didn't make it, he passed
Legal
away.
gets it right away.
And so what we're trying to do is to respond to the needs.
That was
of
Obama's
veterans.
fault.
The other thing we did when it comes to veteran health care, veteran education, is we created the new GI Bill, which is a lot more flexible, and veterans can access their veteran benefits for their education a lot better than they did before.
Hey Lou, on that
So
choice.
those are the issues. The challenge though on those two is going to be ongoing funding. I didn't like the fact that we just did funding, for example, the Choice Act on a per year basis. I think that should be, a continuous appropriation to make sure that our veterans are well taken care of. But,
I think there's a 2-week waiting
that's,
period.
that's what I believe that we need to go in terms of making sure veterans are first, front and center.
Amen.
And number
Americans
two,
first.
that when it comes to issues like housing, we begin to address those as well.
I hope they're not talking points.
But Medicare for all, that's gonna be like all of us having the VA,
Okay,
right?
next question.
exactly.
Given the illegal and dangerous behavior of Trump, why not
Oh,
Fake news.
please.
Again,
Bye.
let me restate that's a very
Dumb
important
question.
question.
Dumb
Important.
Because it's a
And
lie.
Again,
Jesus.
what we want to do is we want to look at the facts.
You won the election fair and
You don't
square.
make a conclusion.
Get over it,
You
you
want to
lost.
go
Over
to
it.
the
Suck
Mueller
it up.
report.
Okay.
How many more years you gonna look
Fake
at that?
news.
You're done. You're done.
And the challenge we're going
Shit's
to
getting
have is
out.
to go through the Mueller report in public.
It was a soft coup.
We want to have Mr. Mueller, I should say.
in jail.
We want to have him in front of the Judiciary Committee. We want to have Mr. Barr in front of the Judiciary Committee.
And Hillary
We
Clinton?
want to look at all the redacted portions of the Mueller report. You know what those redacted portions are?
You'll be sorry.
Nobody-
Hillary did it.
Ongoing investigations.
No, it's not. How would you know that?
That's a complete 180.
And the challenge that we have
Investigate the investigators.
is that, guess what? We have an election in California primary in less than a year.
That's right. March.
We have a presidential election in
Trump
18
2020.
months. So what we want to do is do our job. I don't want to jump ahead and say we should do this or that for political reasons. I want to do it based on the facts. And it's not,
Fact is,
it's
there
not
is no
an issue
collusion.
that-
No collusion. That's the fact.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna help.
Well, that's one of the issues that's being
Show
asked.
yours
is the
first.
Trump-
He doesn't have
One
that.
of the chairmans of another committee is asking for tax returns.
Cummings.
Another one is looking at.
Can you
his,
see yours?
tax
You showing
return
yours?
related
How about
business.
yours?
Not a
So,
requirement.
A lot of those
Not a
issues are
requirement,
actually being
exactly.
done.
This is a fishing
One
expedition.
last question?
Which
Oh,
One last
convenient.
question.
Ask one of our
Convenient.
questions.
your own house?
Coward.
Throw them out.
Okay, so this will be our last question. Should inclusion of a group mean exclusion for everyone else?
That's what the Equality Act will do.
Wow.
If this is about the Equality Act again,
It's bigotry.
I really believe that it's about civil rights.
No, it's not. It's a power grab.
5 years from now, I want to be in the right side of this discussion.
Stand with black
On
Americans.
the left side.
That's a lie.
And
Do you think people are born gay then? Is that what you're saying?
When it comes to people that want to serve in the military, when it comes to people that are looking for nothing more than respect, I'm there.
Looking for nothing more than
And
us to
I'm
pay
gonna
for their
stand
gender reassignment
publicly
surgery.
and forcefully on this issue.
There's only a man and a
I'm for
woman,
civil
Only
rights.
two
no in
genders.
between.
Only two genders.
Let me
that's it.
conclude by thanking all of you for being here today.
Women athletes are losing to
I want to
transgender
continue
females.
to reach out.
Where's
their
and
civil
hear
rights?
Your thoughts and comments.
When a woman loses a
As
race
we've
to a
all-
man,
as We've all
yeah,
as
where's their
we've
civil
always
rights? Can't answer that one, can
talked,
you?
and I've always mentioned to all of you, we may not always agree, but I think it's important that as Americans, we sit down and have an educated discussion, a peaceful discussion.
Okay, let's start now.
And we have
start now.
areas that we agree.
We're still waiting.
And those areas
Try
that
not to
we
lie so much.
disagree.
Okay. When you say that a man can become a woman, that's not educated. That's a mental disorder.
What about our gas prices?
Why not to lie so much?
Why are our gas
Be a
prices so
liar.
high? Because I've never voted on 6, no on 6.
The indivisibles get the first crack.
Congressman down the middle aisle.
Excuse me, I just wanted to make sure that you had this information. It seems like you're a
Thank
pretty
you.
involved person, and we just want to make sure.
I know, it's
you're aware of
horrific.
what's going on.
They shouldn't have done the first exemption, taking that away about
But if you
faith,
read
and this
the
is even
whole
worse.
thing,
I know.
Yeah, it's
It's horrific.
prenatal care,
I'm trying to
all the way
rate.
through career.
I didn't get that Equality Act thing came up. This is along the lines of this. They're going to take away women's rights. They're going to make men pretend to be women and undermine that. And what they're doing to black people, what they fought for, is being ripped away from them by this. It's just horrific. Thank you for this. I appreciate it.
Can I ask you a personal question?
You can ask whatever you want.
Are you a conservative, a Republican, or conservative?
I'm sorry?
Are you a Republican or a conservative, either one?
I'm both and proud of it.
Good, so am I.
Absolutely. That Equality Act, you should be screaming at the top of your lungs to stop it. You should, Suave. You can't run for president because you're an immigrant, but you can run for Congress.
Yeah, that's a shame.
No, I could, I guess.
Arthur.
What's up? Touch your hand.
I'm good. Good to see you. Thank you.